So next up is Mars. We're going to talk about Mars and what Mars is like as a planet. It's aggressive. It's a red planet. It's connected with the color red. If your Mars is bad, do not surround yourself with red. It's going to be very bad for your mental health and for the people around you. It's going to aggravate you. It's going to aggravate the anger. It's a warrior. It's a warrior planet. If your Mars is good, you can have the best higher education. If your Mars is good, it can actually really give you one of the most amazing aggressive education, like, PhD, but you can mint money out of it. And but if your Mars is bad, your aggression can affect other people. It can affect your marriage. You can have a very bad marriage. You can have a very aggressive marriage. There can be domestic violence. Mars is your blood. Mars is your blood vessels. It's to do with your iron, like iron levels in your body. So if you're eating everything right, but your iron levels are always low, let's talk about your Mars in your chart. So that's what Mars is. Mars is a malefic planet. It is also benefic if it's situated in a good way in somebody's chart. The spouse's chart. If it's the highest degree in your spouse's chart, you can, and if it's in a good position in your chart, you can bring amazing life for your partner. You can keep him on your toes. You can motivate that person. You can be that, hey, let's do this. Let's achieve goals. That aggression, but positive aggression. You can be one of those persons. It's fire. But if it's negative, you can be the one bringing all the drama in your family, all the violence, everything negative. There are remedies for it. There is always remedies for negative, but there's always going to be something pulling you backward at the back of your mind and subconsciously. You don't know what that is. It can be a malefic planet situated badly, mostly due to past life karmas, and it can be corrected. There is always remedies for it. We're not talking about the Lal Kitab remedies, which we'll talk later, which basically means that, just put this under your pillow. No, you're going to have to make an effort to correct your Mars. It's a very strong malefic planet. You're going to have to meditate. You're going to have to put the effort in for yoga. You're going to have to work it with your partner. You're going to have to work on yourself before even you work with your partner, because you're already bringing a lot of drama. And Mars people don't usually accept that it's them. They usually think that, you annoying me. You agitated me. You instigated it. So Mars people struggle to accept their fault as well with bad Mars. I mean, Mars positioned really badly in your chart. So they struggle to accept the blame as well. Now let's move on to the other planet from Mars. And moving on to the next one in line, which is Saturn. It's my favorite planet. Saturn is the karmic planet. It decides the karma of a human being. Wherever your Saturn sits, let me not even say if your Saturn is good or bad. No, wherever your Saturn is in your chart, that house is why you are born in this lifetime to pay back from the last lifetime. It makes sure it's a payback planet. It's your payback time. So Saturn is a payback karmic planet, malefic karmic, discipline, everything about discipline, everything about structure, everything about strategy, everything about doing things a very disciplined way. It likes everything to be on time. If the best remedy of Saturn, whatever I said itself is a remedy. If in that area of your life things are going haywire and you have no idea what to do, if Saturn is sitting in house of your mother, and you have a lot of karmic account with your mother, and things are not going okay, or it's situated located in the education house, and your education is all over the place no matter what you do, you bring some sort of discipline, some sort of determination, and some sort of strategy, and some sort of dedication and you make a decision that you're going to do this, Saturn will beat you up until it's done. And then when you show that hey, I've got this in me, it will give you back. It will start giving you back, because Saturn decides karma. So it also gives. Karma is not just take, it also gives. And when it gives, oh my God, you can be a PhD. You can be one of the most, you can get yourself educated in multiple directions. And Saturn is money as well. Money, the highest amount of money a planet can give out of the entire planetary system is not Rahu, is Saturn. Saturn can make you the most loaded person. Whoever right now is a billionaire, it has a strong Saturn. So Saturn can decide a lot of money. And you will see a lot of people who are very hardworking. Saturn loves hard work. Oh my God. Saturn is also construction worker, somebody who is doing construction, bricklayers, somebody who is doing one monotonous job, somebody who is knitting, somebody who is making saris, somebody who is weaving clothes, somebody who is doing the ikigai in the Japanese technology, doing one thing. Japan as a country has the strongest Saturn on planet Earth. And India has the lowest Saturn because India is chaotic and not organized, but Japan is the most organized and they write books on ikigai. So if you correct your ikigai in your life and read what ikigai is, Saturn will bless you with money that you cannot imagine. It's beyond your imagination money. So that's how Saturn decides your life. Moving on to Jupiter. Jupiter is Guru. We also call it the Guru in Vedic terms, Sanskrit terms. Guru is your teacher. Guru is a planet of expansion. It's a benefic planet. Jupiter is a heavy planet. Wherever it sits, it creates heaviness in that house. You will start feeling heavy about that house, or something in this house or in this area of my life is heavy. Whenever I touch this field, or it's something, I need to make a bit more effort here, or I need to something just sits there and it's not lightweight, or I can't move in that direction of my life in that house easily. However, when I do, it expands. It expands into places that I cannot imagine. So if it's in your career house, you may find it really, really hard to maneuver your career because, Jupiter is heavy. But once you make that maneuver in your career, once you know what you want, Jupiter will expand your career options. Jupiter will be like, hey, take this, take that, take this, take that. I'll give you 20 options. How about this? How about that? Jupiter will give. It's a very benefic planet. And it's a guru, it's a teacher. It will teach you things. Wherever Jupiter sits, you have a lot to learn. All your life you learn something. Or in that house, if Jupiter sits there. That's your house of learning. Your mentors will show up through that house. If your Jupiter is benefic, you will have the best mentors. If your Jupiter is not located in a good position or is not with a favorable nakshatra, then you might struggle or longer for the best mentors in this world. You may not get them, but you still want them. So Jupiter is Guru, it's your teacher. Or respect your teacher. If you want to strengthen your Jupiter, respect your teachers around you. Never disrespect your teacher. If you catch yourself disrespecting someone who's teaching you something or making fun of them, even in your head, you don't like something about them, you're making fun of them, you understand that your Jupiter is weak. That will tell you, and correct it immediately and start respecting. The more you respect your teachers, even the small child has taught you something today, Jupiter is sending that child to you. So respect it, and you are doing the remedy for Jupiter. People with strong Jupiter will have a bigger body or larger body. They may struggle to lose weight, but that means that your Jupiter is strong, and Jupiter expands. So your knowledge about spreading your wings or networking events or business through networking becomes strong. So that is Jupiter in a nutshell. However, Jupiter is much more than this, and it's my favorite planet to talk about in terms of, because there's so much to it, but we will talk about it as we grow further about Jupiter. Now, the last section, we're not going to cover Uranus, Neptune and Pluto, because in the Vedic astrology, they were not mentioned so much in the books of the Rishi Parasha, or they were not mentioned so much. They have a lot of significance. In fact, they the extended version of Venus, Mars, the energies of Venus and Mars, and they have so much significance. But if you discount them, you can still predict almost accurate. So we will cover Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto eventually, not in this video. When it will be necessary. It's not necessary now for you to know. So now what's important for you is the two most important planets. They're called the shadow planet of the planetary system, Rahu and Ketu. Shadow planets are the north and the south side of the moon, nodes of the moon. So the north node is Rahu and the south node is Ketu. Now, there's a story behind it. How does it happen? They're not actual planets, they're the shadow planets, right? So there was this beautiful gathering of the Devas and the Asuras, which means the gods and the demons. Actually, Asuras are not technically demons. They're just the other half of the god, which is a negative energy. However, they're not necessarily demons, so they're not bad people. But the Devas are basically gods, so they obviously have the higher importance. And so they were being served Amrit, which is the elixir for, if you drink it, you become immortal. You stay in this galaxy, on this planetary system, or in this universe forever. So the gods were being served the elixir of life. And one of the Asura, I'm not going to use the word demon in this. I'm going to use the word Asura because it is not the same. We don't have, the Indian mythology doesn't have the concept of demon. We do not have demon or the negative or the bad energy. We only have negative or the bad karmas. So the Asuras are basically not demon. They're just bad guys, but they have a lot of good in them as well. And they were not being served. They were going to be, they were going to get that elixir, but once the gods have finished. And Rahu didn't like it. One of the Asuras didn't like it, and he was a rebel. He was like in a rebellion. He was like, I'm not going to take this. He was a rebel, and he said like, no, that's not fair. I want it along with them. Why are we secondary? Just because we are Asuras, we are secondary. So even the gods of the gods, as in like, you know, the main the alpha of the god, or I consider that Shiva, the initial energy. Why are they being unfair? They should be giving the elixir to both of us at the same time. So he disguises himself as one of the gods and sit in the queue along with the other gods to drink the elixir together. While Shri Krishna had taken the avatar of Mohini, which is like beautiful lady serving the elixir. As he was going, he kept pouring into the cups of the gods, and he reaches the Asura. Mohini was in his zone. He wasn't in the Krishna mode. He was just in the Mohini mode, and very beautiful, very seductive. And she poured it to the Asura, and the Asura kept drinking. But internally, it's Krishna. So then he realized it. That what have I done? He realized it immediately that the Asura has already drank the elixir. And he cheated to be here. He felt it, and he was so angry that he takes out his chakra, which is the weapon of Shri Krishna, and he cuts him into two pieces. However, this guy is already immortal. He has already drank the elixir. So he didn't die. So he got cut into two pieces. One became Rahu and one became Ketu. Rahu being the head, the torso of the Asura, and Ketu becoming the bottom part of the Asura. So Rahu is naturally intelligent, notoriously intelligent. Rahu can bring a lot of money in your life. Rahu can create a lot of discrepancy in your life. It can create a lot of, like, you know, if your Rahu is strong or negative, it can create a lot of chaos in your life. Mental health issues can come from Rahu. Most people who are schizophrenic or suffering from immense mental health issue that nobody can find, even doctors cannot diagnose, have a really badly placed Rahu with a very malefic planet, or in a very bad position in a nakshatra that it doesn't like. It's just uncomfortable and it's driving the person crazy. So, and if your Rahu is good, you're so smart that you will find the most most unique way to make money. Rahu is unique. It is not somebody like somebody. It will create the most unique ideas. You know, any apps, any idea, internet, or this and that, like, you know, any idea that you see around the world that you were like, how did this person think of this? Has a strong Rahu. Rahu is unique, has a ways to find what it wants in the most unique way. It doesn't like injustice. It's rebel, and it's a rebel, and it will just it will always rebel. A rebellion person in your family who will marry in its own will, or marry a different colored person, or marry a different caste person, or just go out of its way and make its own way, has a strong Rahu. He would be like, okay, my family is following this tradition from last 100 years. I'm not going to, because that's Rahu. That's a strong Rahu. Ocean is Rahu. If you worship the ocean, you can calm your Rahu down. Ketu is the bottom part of the body, which is intuition. Ketu doesn't have mind. Rahu is calculative. Everything is logical, calculation, smart, cunning. Ketu is body. It's innocent. It doesn't have eyes. It's blind. And it's highly intuitive. Everything intuition is Ketu. If you're high on intuition, but you cannot calculate to save your life, if your mathematics is bad, your accounts is bad, you have no idea what to do with your money, you're making money with intuition, just blindly shooting in the dark, and it comes to you because you're just feeling it, you have a strong Ketu. You can see what's going to happen in your dream, and everything unfolds next day the same way. You have a strong Ketu. If you're even born on the day 7 or 16, you have a strong Ketu. You're ruled by Ketu numerologically, and Rahu is number 4, so 22, 4, or 13 is Rahu. And if your intuitions are so sharp that you can see the future, you're ruled by Ketu. Please trust your intuition if you're a Ketu. Ketu is innocent. It's not... So Ketu is sometimes a good planet, but Ketu is also the hidden aspects, your hidden talent, your hidden lust, your hidden want for something, your hidden desire. Ketu is also moksha. It also detaches you from something. While Rahu attaches you to something, creates a strong attachment to your family, to your partner, to love, to whatever, attachment to wealth. Ketu is detachment to wealth. You can be the most wealthiest person in the world and you're not even attached to it. That's Ketu. Your Ketu might be strong. You just make it and then you'll be like, yeah, whatever. You are in a beautiful relationship but you're not attached to your wife. You have a strong Ketu. You love her, but you're like, yeah, whatever. I'll live without her. You have a strong Ketu. But if you're not doing that, Ketu may come into your life in multiple ways to show you detachment. If Ketu sits in your 12th house, if any of you have a chart, open it and check if Ketu is sitting on 12th house, that's your last life. The most creepiest, most mysterious thing that I've just told you, it's your last life if Ketu is sitting in your 12th house, the moksha house, because Ketu is going to detach you from this life and the cycle of birth and give him death and birth. So human life. So that's where we end this planetary session. And we will continue with more information. If you're loving it and if you want to listen to more stories, please subscribe and tell it to your friends that this is how you can see your own chart. If you have any questions, please post it in the comment section and I will definitely answer you. We will also put my email addresses out there if you want to reach out for your readings. And we will continue with more videos, personalized readings and how it all works and how you can get a lot of clarity around your life.